Hello friends, welcome to my channel Keep Exploring. In today's topic, we are going to learn about the remainder theorem from class 9 chapter polynomials. So let's start the remainder theorem. Before starting the theorem, let's understand about the term remainder. Whenever two numbers are divided, let it be 7 be divided by the number 2. So what we get? So 2 3s are 6 and the remainder comes 1. So this is the division process we have done since childhood. So here we can see that the remainder is 1. The remainder 1 is always less than the divisor 2. The remainder 1 is less than the divisor 2, and 7 can be written as 2 times 3 plus 1, that is dividend equals to divisor multiplied by quotient plus remainder. So this is the verification we use for checking the division process. That is the division algorithm says dividend equals to divisor multiplied by quotient plus remainder. Now here what we will do, we will see the same concept using polynomials. Now always remember, the remainder is always less than the divisor in any division. The remainder is always less than the divisor. So let's see using the same concept, and we will take some polynomials here. So let a polynomial be p of x is divided by another polynomial g of x. Let a polynomial p of x be divided by the polynomial g of x. Then there will be some quotient and we will get some remainder. So here we see that the same concept that we use for numbers, p of x can be written as g of x multiplied by q of x plus r of x, where p of x is the dividend, g of x is the divisor, q of x is the quotient, and r of x is the remainder. Now let's see the condition, the relationship between the remainder and the divisor. So as we saw earlier, the remainder is always less than the divisor. So here when we talk about polynomials, that means the degree of the divisor is greater than the degree of the remainder. That one you have to see. So the degree of the remainder should be less than the degree of the divisor. Now degree means what is the highest power of the variable. Now see here, coming back to our statement, p of x equals to g of x multiplied by q of x plus r of x. So here let us take g of x is equals to a linear polynomial x minus c. So when you say linear polynomial, the highest power is 1. So let us take g of x equals to x minus c. Now we see here that the degree of the polynomial g of x is equals to 1, and as per this condition, the degree of the remainder r of x should be less than 1. If it is less than 1, we have only left out with 0. That means the degree of the polynomial r of x should be 0. Hence, if the degree is 0, we call that r of x is a constant polynomial. R of x is a constant polynomial, and we can represent it by the letter r. So r of x will be represented by the letter r. So here we say that whenever p of x is divided by g of x, so in place of g of x what we have done, we are using a linear polynomial. Hence the same statement can be written as now p of x equals to x minus a multiplied by q of x plus r of x. R of x is nothing but r. that is the constant polynomial. Since r, the degree of r of x is a less than the degree of the divisor x minus a. Since x minus a is a linear polynomial, so less than linear polynomial we have a constant polynomial. Hence, whenever we divide a polynomial p of x by x minus a, we can see this statement. So the statement says p of x equals to x minus a multiplied by q of x plus r of r. R is the constant polynomial. Here p of x is of degree greater than 1 and x minus a, that is g of x, is of greater degree 1 and r of x is of degree 0. The degree of r of x is 0, the degree of g of x is 1 and the degree of p of x is greater than 1. So coming back to our theorem now, the theorem says let p of x be a polynomial of degree greater than 1 or equals to 1 and let a be any real number. Now if p of x is divided by the linear polynomial x minus a, if p of x is divided, so if p of x is divided by x minus a, then the remainder is p of a. We have to prove it. So already we have seen whenever p of x is divided by x minus a, p of x can be written as x minus a multiplied by its quotient q of x plus the remainder, that is the constant polynomial r. Hence, now let us find p of a now. So what is p of a? That means in place of x we have put a. So in place of x, if we put a, x minus a becomes a minus a and this becomes q of a plus r. That implies p of a is equals to, now a minus a becomes 0, so that is 0 plus r and that belongs to r. Hence we can see the remainder is nothing but p of a. So the remainder is p of a. So whenever p of x is divided by x minus a, the remainder that we get is p of a. So that is the remainder theorem. Now what is the use of this theorem? So the use of this theorem will be, without doing the long division method, if the question is to find out the remainder directly, then we can use this theorem. So this theorem is used to find the remainder directly without any long division. Hence, just to remember, if p of x is divided by x minus a, remember x minus a, then the remainder is p of a. Or you can say if p of x is divided by x plus a, then the remainder will be p of minus a. Just here we use the opposite sign here. If x minus a is there, we use p of a. If x plus is there, you use p of minus a. And what this is p of a and p of minus a, that means in place of the variable we will use this value. We'll just put the value of a in place of the variable x. So let's understand this more clearly using some examples. Here one example we say that find the remainder when x cube plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1 is divided by x plus 1. So first let's find the remainder using our long division method. So here we can see x cube. So this is the dividend, x cube plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1. So let me keep it here like this. So x cube plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1, the dividend, is divided by x plus 1 is the divisor. So the way we start dividing in our numbers, the same way we start it with the first place. Okay, as we see here, suppose we have a number like 52 divided by 14. So what we see the first place is first, tens place we have 1 and tens place we have 5, we'll see it. So the same way we'll use it here. Always see the first place. So in the first place in the divisor, how much we have x, and in the first place, the first term of the dividend is x cube. So here you have to say that x multiplied by what you will do, so that we will get x cube. So that is the concept here. X multiplied by what you will do, so that we will get x cube. So it is simple. So x multiplied by x squared will get x cube. X multiplied by x squared will get x cube. So here we say that, so we will multiply x with x squared and we get x cubed. But here we see that whenever we multiply x squared, we don't multiply only with x. Here in the divisor we have x plus 1. So the divisor is x plus 1, complete x plus 1, that is one polynomial. Hence, whatever you keep here, x squared, you have to multiply with all the terms. That means x squared has to be multiplied with x plus 1. Hence we get x squared multiplied by x, we get x cubed. X squared multiplied by 1, we get x squared. So we get it like x cubed plus x squared. So remember this one. Whenever you are multiplying both the terms must be multiplied with this quotient. So x multiplied by x squared, we get x cubed. 1 multiplied by x squared, we get x squared. Now after this we'll subtract as we do in our division process. Here let's subtract it. So whenever you subtract, remember the sign gets opposite. So minus of plus becomes minus and minus of plus becomes minus. Just you have to change the sign. This is the important part. So whenever you are subtracting, just change this sign and put it. Here x cubed and minus x cubed get cancelled. Now here we have 3x squared, that is positive 3, and negative 1. X squared minus 1x squared, so you can use it like this. So plus 3 and minus 1, we use this sign. This sign will be used, not this one. So plus 3 minus 1, we get 2x squared. After this, we will bring it down. Now let's see here. Plus 3x is brought down. Again the same thing. See the first term. Here we have x. Here we have 2x squared. X multiplied by how much, we get 2x squared. So x multiplied by 2x. X into x is x squared. 1 into 2 is 2. So x multiplied by 2x is 2x squared plus again 1 plus 2x. So we get here 2x squared plus again this one also you have to multiply. So 1 multiplied by 2x now. For the second term, 1 multiplied by 2x, we get 2x. Next again subtraction. When you subtract, the sign changes, plus becomes minus. So 2x squared and 2x squared get cancelled. Plus 3 minus 2, we get 1x. So we can get 1x, we just leave it. Next we have 1 here. So this 1 will be brought down. So in this case what we have, you see 3x minus 2x gives you only x. Now what we have, x plus 1. So x plus 1. Now the first term is x here, the first term is x here. So x into how much will give you x? 1. So x into 1 is x, and again 1 into 1 is 1. So we get x plus 1. So you have just multiplied the first term and the second term, both x plus 1 with 1. So again subtraction. Hence we see both are, and the remainder we get is 0. Now here we say that whenever x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1 is divided by x plus 1, the remainder we get is 0. Now let's see the same question using remainder theorem. Now in this we will use the remainder theorem. So here p of x is taken as x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1 and is divided by x plus a. So g of x is x plus a, that is x plus 1. So here we say that whenever we know by the remainder theorem, what we can say, whenever p of x is divided by x minus a, the remainder we get is p of a. So here in place of x minus a, we have x plus a. So first you have to find what is this a. Now to find a, we will put g of x is equals to 0. That's the first step to do. Let's put g of x equals to 0. So we'll find the 0 of this polynomial g of x. So g of x is nothing but x plus 1. So x plus 1 equals to 0. So x equals to minus 1. So in place of a we will use minus 1. So let's see. So the remainder becomes p of minus 1. Simple thing, we can see like this also. Since x plus a I am dividing, I will use x plus a. Here I will use minus a. So plus 1 I am using here minus 1. So here the first step to do is find the 0 of the polynomial g of x. Okay, so that is x plus 1 equals to 0. So x equals to minus 1. So this one will be my value for a. So this value of a I will put it here to find the remainder. Now what is p of minus 1? So p of minus 1 is nothing but in place of x in this polynomial we will use minus 1. So x cubed. So x cubed becomes minus 1 whole cube plus 3 multiplied by minus 1 whole squared plus 3 into minus 1 plus 1. So this becomes now minus 1 whole cube. Minus 1 whole cube means minus 1. Minus 1 multiplied by minus 1 multiplied by minus 1. Or you can say we have the odd power of minus. Odd power of minus 1 always gives you minus 1. Plus 3 multiplied by minus 1 whole squared. So minus 1 whole squared gives you positive 1. So 3 into 1 gives you 3. Next plus into minus. Minus 3 into 1 we have 3. At last we have 1. Hence we can say plus 3 and minus 3 get cancelled. Plus 1 and minus 1 get cancelled. And the remainder that we get is 0. So here we see that without doing the long division method, we have found what is the remainder. As you can see earlier, we had to do this long division method. We got the remainder as 0. Here also we have got the remainder 0 without doing the long division method. So this theorem is used only to find the remainder if we don't want, they give to find the remainder directly without doing the long division method. So let's see one more question of this type. Here let us find the remainder for when x cube plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1 is divided by 5 plus 2x. So first thing, p of x. So what is p of x? X cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1 is being divided by 5 plus 2x. So here the g of x is our 5 plus 2x. So p of x is being divided by g of x. So first step is g of x equals to 0. To find the 0 of the polynomial, you have to equate it to 0. So that becomes 5 plus 2x equals to 0. And using the equation shifting, so 2x equals to 5 will move on to the side, becomes minus 5. And x becomes minus 5 by 2. Hence the 0 of the polynomial g of x is minus 5 by 2. So this minus 5 by 2 will be the value of our a. So here by remainder theorem. So by remainder theorem we can say the remainder is p of a, and we know the value of a is now p of minus 5 by 2. So in place of a you will use minus 5 by 2. So here we say now in place of that x we will use minus 5 by 2 here. So minus 5 by 2 whole cube plus 3 multiplied by minus 5 by 2 whole squared plus 3 multiplied by minus 5 by 2 plus 1. So hence we see here, let's simplify this. So minus 5 by 2 whole cube. Since it is a negative, odd power of negative, so we will get a negative answer. 5 cube, 5 by 2 whole cube means 5 cube and 2 cubed also. 5 cubed gives 125 by 8, that is 2 cubed is 8, plus minus, again square of the negative is always positive, so 3 multiplied by 5 squared. So 5 squared is 25 by 2 squared is 4. Next plus into minus, positive and a negative gives you negative. 3 5s are 15 by 2 plus 1. So we will solve it here and find the remainder. So here we can see we can take out the LCM as 8, 4 and 2. The LCM of 8, 4 and 2, the common multiple will be 8, and we get here minus 125 plus 4 2s are 8. So 3 multiplied by 25 we get 75. We can simplify it. So 75 multiplied by 2 we get 150. Again 2 4s are 8. So we get 15 fours are 60 plus 1 by 1 we can use it. So 1 8s are 8. So here we can use it 8. Next, just we'll solve it. So first the positive, that is 150 plus 8, 158. Then the negatives, 125 and 60 gives you minus 185 by 8. So here we just have to solve this one. 158 minus 185. So smaller minus bigger, so we'll get a negative answer. So we get minus, so 158 minus 185, so we'll do the reverse. So we get minus 27 by 8. So we get minus 27 by 8. So that's the remainder when we divide x cube plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1 by 5 plus 2x. Let's see one more question here. In this question it says that check whether the polynomials q of t 4t cube plus 4t squared minus t minus 1 is a multiple of 2t plus 1, or check whether the polynomial 2t plus 1 is a factor of q. Here we say that both the questions are of the same concept, that is, here we say that this polynomial is a multiple of this, and in this one, this polynomial is a factor of this polynomial. Okay, so here we can see that this is a multiple, this is a factor, and here this is a multiple and this is a factor. And we know, for example, I say 6 is a multiple of 2, or we can say 2 is a factor of 6. Both are the same thing, whether we say 6 is a multiple of 2 or 2 is a multiple of 6. But the only thing you have to prove here to prove this statement is you have to get the remainder 0 whenever we divide 6 and 2. If remainder comes 0, then only we can say these two statements. The same thing we will use it here. So you have to just find the remainder. So here we can see p of t, or you can see here already given q of t is equals to 4t cube plus 4t squared minus t minus 1, and the factor that we have to prove is 2t plus 1. So let us take something like g of t is 2t plus 1. So first we will take 2t plus 1 equals to 0. So implies 2t equals to minus 1 and t equals to minus 1 by 2. Hence we got the 0 of the polynomial, that will be taken as a now. Okay, so this one will use for the remainder theorem. So by remainder theorem, we can say the remainder equals to p of minus 1 by 2. So we'll use minus 1 by 2. So we'll find out the value for this polynomial. So 4 multiplied by minus 1 by 2 whole cube plus 4 multiplied by minus 1 by 2 whole squared minus 1 by 2 minus 1. Always remember, whenever you have negative, keep them in brackets. Next step continues. 4 multiplied minus 1 by 2 whole cube becomes minus 1 by 8. 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8 plus 4 multiplied by minus 1 whole squared, minus 1 by 2 whole squared, because minus 1 means it becomes positive 1 by 2 squared is 4. Again minus into minus becomes plus 1 by 2 minus 1. Hence we see for some cancellation. So 4 ones are we can cancel. Here 4 ones are 4 2s are. So finally we are left out with minus 1 by 2 plus 1 plus 1 by 2 minus 1. Hence we can see plus 1 and minus 1 gets cancelled. 1 by 2 and minus 1 gets cancelled. We are left out with the as 0. Hence we see that the remainder comes 0. So we get the remainder is 0. Since remainder is 0, we can say that yes, the polynomial qt is a multiple of 2t plus 1, or 2t plus 1 is a factor of the polynomial q of t. That's the simple way to prove it. So remember, so whenever a polynomial is divided by x minus a, the remainder is p of a. If it is divided by x minus a, the remainder is p of a, and when it is divided by x plus a, it will be p of minus a. That's the thing we have to remember. Hope you have understood the video. To get more such videos, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Keep exploring. Thank you.